it's the Lady PB, and I'm back with another video. It's going to be real quick. I want to talk this morning about researching. Just stop already. Stop researching. I want to talk about why I don't like this term, I'm researching, and why it's just holding y'all back. Um, in life, you have to be able to make decisions. You got to be able to make decisions, y'all. And sometimes people are using this research word, oh, I'm researching, a as a crippling tool, and it cripples you. When I read that magazine some 20 some years ago, 24 years ago, I knew right then that I was going to get into printing. There was no hesitation. I knew that this is what I'm going to do. Sometimes in life, you gotta jump and you gotta just leap and just do it. I was talking to a colleague yesterday, last night rather, about prints. I'm doing a lot of DTF prints, outsourcing a lot of DTF jobs, y'all. And I am starting to outsource more and more and more. And looking at starting to do DTF in-house, and then saying, you know what, I really don't have time to worry about machines or baby machines and things like that, to spend that investment. I don't want to do the investment at that time, at this time. I don't want to um, have an employee that I have to pay to sit there and do the work. So I started outsourcing things. Good morning, sis. Good morning. How you doing this morning? I'm in here cleaning up, and then I'm finna go walking, y'all. Before I get my day started, I had to come in and run a bunch of DTF prints. So the title of the video is Stop Researching. Now, I don't mean stop researching, right? I mean, stop over researching, stop overreacting. So this is what we were talking about yesterday. And so she said, hey, well, you outsourcing all of these prints and this and that other, and I'm still researching. People keep asking me, are you checking the prints? Hell no. Okay? Here's the thing. Once you start doing a process, whether you're doing it yourself or whether you're outsourcing the process, okay? Here's the truth of the matter. I can look at a t-shirt when I print a shirt. I can look at that shirt, the way that it comes out the dryer. I know if it has like a shine, if it's sticky. I know whether that shirt is cured. You learn that, and then after you learn that, you go with it. When we screen print, we do not do a wash test on everything that we screen print. We would never make any money. No companies, professional companies, would not make money, because you know the process. You find a process that you believe in, right? And then once you found that process and you've done that test, you don't need to keep testing and testing and testing. Now, there are times when you run into a problem and then you need to test. For us, when we're screen printing, right? When I'm screen printing, we warm up the dryer. We know how long it takes to warm up the dryer. Those first couple of shirts that come out, we hit it with a temp gun. We make sure that we are at the temperature, because with a dryer, you can have certain things that go wrong. So when you're outsourcing products, right, to companies, those companies have their testing that they also do. So let's say I'm outsourcing the DTF prints. When I first got the DTF prints, did I test it? Yes, you guys have seen me test prints like off the chain on the channel, right? but I don't stop working. And this is the difference, right? Testing and researching is two different things. When you say, hey, I'm still researching and I'm trying to figure out, I want to test every order, right? Morning, Melly Ma'am. Hey, girl. What it do? What it do? That's my road dog, y'all. Hey, girl. Glad to see you. Okay, glad to see you back. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. We've already done the testing, ma'am. We done talked about it. We've already done the testing. Hey, Dempsey. How you doing, Demps? Y'all, we already done the testing. We not going to test every time everything. Researching, okay? You find a company that you like, and sometimes it takes a while to find that company that you like. And then, yeah, you get the material and you test it, right? You test it. You see if you like it. If you don't like it, you move on to something else. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm still 10 toes down on, I'm not crazy about DTF. But what I am crazy about is making sure that my children's eat. Making sure that there's food over here on the table and that I can do something for myself and that I have a way to live. So if the market is going towards doing full color graphics in DTF and I see a way that I can bring in extra income to my existing income, that's what I'm going to do. Hey, Baby Giant, good morning. So, Baby Giant, we get samples, right? We get the sample. We press the sample. We figure out what's the temperature for the sample. Oh, that doesn't press at that temperature. It takes us this long to peel it. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. And then we work that shit out. And then after we've worked it out, we rolling with it. So you are going to have like certain things, like this is a shirt that we screen print at a live event. I ended up keeping it. You have certain things that you end up washing throughout doing things, right? Sometimes you can stagnate yourself. You can stagnate yourself because you can stagnate yourself, right? Because you are constantly, hey, I'm researching, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm researching equipment. Either you have to know, you have to look at a process and you have to know, okay, well, this is for me or this ain't for me. You got to put your pros and your cons down, right? And you say, like I told you guys yesterday, my sublimation machine stopped working yesterday. And it's like, okay, it's a problem with the ink cartridges. Y'all ain't seen me deal with ink cartridges in years. I stopped dealing with ink cartridges for a reason, but I got this printer on a dirt cheap. And I said, hey, I'll go ahead and grab this printer. 2 years. It's been sitting there doing what it do when I do live videos and things like that. The moment that a printer starts giving me issues, baby, it's out of there. Y'all, unfortunately, y'all ain't gonna be seeing me on the channel doing a whole lot of printer repair videos. People change and people evolve. Your business changes, your business is going to evolve. So this is what I'm going to tell y'all this morning. Go for it. Okay? Go for it. If you are trying to get into whatever type of business it is that you're getting into. For example, if you want to screen print, right? You want to look at, make a list of the pros and the cons, right? We know that screen printing, and I don't care what y'all say, because it's the truth and it's what makes money. Screen printing gives you the ability to produce a lot of items quickly. DTF is coming up on that. It's doing that. It's giving you the option to do a lot of prints quickly, right? I'm not going to say that you can do your that DTF prints are going to be as fast as screen printing. However, you can, whether you're printing it yourself, whether you're outsourcing. And me, I prefer to outsource it at this time, because doing the little small DTF printers, right, it's not going to produce what I need to produce. So say I need, like today I'm ordering 200 prints. I need 200 prints and I need them fast. If somebody else can take that, can do that job for me, and they can do it at a cheap enough rate to where, and this is the difference, I'm not for outsourcing when it takes a lot of money out of my pocket. I'm for outsourcing when it's beneficial. And so you have to look at, because y'all know I rock that in-house print. That's me. I want to control all the processes. I'm hovering like a helicopter over the business. I want to micromanage every fucking thing, right? So for me, I have outsourced to big companies. I have outsourced to small companies. I honestly find that working with smaller companies or local companies, that you're able to get things done, right? Because when you're shipping transfers, like, so I've done Stalls, I've done Howard's, both great companies, right? But I got an order here now of 300-400 transfers from Hoka transfers, or Hoka, whatever, however you call that shoe. I got about 300 of those transfers that I can't even use because it's trademarked. The order did not get here on time, and well, the company sent it to the wrong address, which I had fixed, and they still sent it to the wrong address, and I didn't get it, and Ken had to screen print those transfers. So that was it for me as far as sending stuff out for people who, when I need something and I need it immediate. If you're outsourcing to companies that you have to wait to get things shipped to, that's fine. You could have it's good to have not just one company, but 3 or 4 different companies that do the same thing. You have companies and you put them in categories. This is who I'm going to call for rush. I'm going to use this company here local to do my rush stuff. If I have something that this company cannot do, or if this company has a breakdown, because all companies have breakdowns. All companies have breakdowns. All companies have issues. And yesterday I was complaining because I didn't get a print. They said the print is ready, gonna be ready the same day. 6 o'clock came, no call, da 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 this, da 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 that, right? So luckily I ended up getting those. But you gotta have 2 or 3 companies that you're dealing with. So at least have you 2 companies local that you can, those 2 companies that are local, that you can outsource product to if you're outsourcing, right? It's just like with t-shirts. I don't shop at one t-shirt manufacturer because they don't have everything. If this one has size large in this style out of stock, I go over to this one. So just keep that in mind. But don't get stuck in this research phrase or using this research term that I'm researching, because a lot of times when you're constantly finding that you're researching, you are, what is the word? Somebody tell me the word. You're dragging your feet. You are procrastinating. That's what you're doing. You're procrastinating. So that shot might be working already. Y'all just took it yesterday. That B12 might be kicking up in the memory card about the memory. Come on, baby. Come on, T. So yeah, you're procrastinating, right? You don't not take orders and not do orders. A lot of people are worried about their name, right? I'm always worried about my name. Not really. Not anymore. But sometimes you can be too worried about your brand, and a brand that you ain't even built yet, right? And you miss out on opportunities. You miss out on starting. The key to making and winning in the print business is to just get started, right? Get those processes. Um, Screen printing for 6 colors, up to 6 colors. If you're really on a manual press, you may not want to do any more than 4 colors, right? Because it does get time consuming unless you're doing all heads down. I don't mind doing 6 colors because I got 3 printers. I put 3 people on the press. They can do all heads down and go from there. Upgrading the press to six stations. Still haven't done that yet, but still gonna do it. If you're into automatic printing, right? If I was doing automatic printing, I wouldn't be doing DTF at all. I wouldn't be doing DTF at all. Maybe if I was doing small pieces, but adding DTF to the business, y'all, I said I was going to go ahead instead of me purchasing a printer, because y'all know I've been looking at the Epson printer, DTG printer is what I was looking at, but I was looking at the Epson DTG printer to do live events, and looking at the size of it and taking into account moving it around and all of that stuff. Just kind of, the maintenance is low. And then, so me just trying to figure out, okay, am I going to be actually using that DTF printer? So what I decided to do was outsource these prints. Because if I outsource, I'll know within a few months how much money I'm spending on outsourcing. And if I'm building up that DTF business alongside of that screen print business, and if it gets to a point of where I see that I'm spending so much on DTF prints that, hey, now I should buy a printer and pay someone to run the printer, and I do the math on that, and I see that, hey, this is working, this can work this way and make me more money, then that's what I'll do. Until then, I'll be outsourcing the prints. And it just makes sense, right? It makes sense in the fact that I can jump on the computer, I can send the file over, I can build a relationship. I've got 3 companies now that I'm working with. I just sent a file over to a new company just to test, right? Even though it's like, okay, so things that I need, just let me send that over and just test that with them to see if they're able to get a job, so that I can start building that rapport with them, right? And then I'll build up to sending over big orders. So the speed of being able to get those prints, like literally, y'all, my biggest problem with outsourcing has always been the time that it takes to get something, right? Y'all be calling me and saying, well, girl, you can order from here, you can order from there. I ain't ordering over there where it got to take me 5 days to get nothing, 3 days to get nothing. I need my stuff like next day. Find you somebody local that you can deal with, right? And when you get a print and you press a print, and this is what I'm saying, y'all. How many of y'all watch test everything that y'all do? I've been printing 24 years. We've printed over 1 million shirts, and that was, what, 3-4 years ago? So we don't know how many more we printed now. You watch test, Baby Giant. You're telling me that every order that you do, that you wash test every order that you do? You should not wash test y'all should not be doing a wash test on every order that y'all do. You should not be wash testing every order that you do. No big business does that. And this is the thing. You got to be confident in what you do. It's okay when you're getting started, right, to wash test. You do a wash test to check it out, because you're making sure. That's right, Baby Giant. Oh, no. You making sure, like you said, you order the samples, you get the samples, you're going to press it, you're going to see if you like it, and then you're going to go with it. Because here's the thing, the company that you're dealing with, you should be dealing with a company that has their process together. And when I say they have their process together, y'all, I mean they have their shit together. They're putting out quality work, quality prints, right? So you ain't got to be doing that every time, right? That's what you do. We test on the products we use and on the sample. So like when we have a shirt, we wear it, we see, oh, da da da, you know. And here's the thing, you have to just put that disclaimer on things when you're doing digital products, because all of these shirts out here that they're doing with DTF, DTG, um, every process, right? Things can happen, and so if you guarantee, you say, okay, well, this print, when the manufacturer tells me that it lasts 50 washes, I tell my customers it'll last you 25 washes. That's what I do. I say, oh, it'll last, the manufacturer says 50 washes, I can guarantee you a good 25 washes. And I go on and go with it. Because here's the thing, you cannot, as a business, y'all, you cannot sit there and wash test everything, every single order. You can't do it. Now, trust and believe me. If your prints ain't right, your customers are going to let you know. Your customers are going to let you know. And the truth of the matter is, when you press something, when you, like I said, when I screen print something, I know whether it's good. It's just like if you do an embroidery patch, right? If you do something in embroidery and you look at it, you know if the tension is good or the tension's not. And so you're like, oh, let me change that, right? Same thing with the DTF prints or any other type of prints. You know when you press it and you feel that transfer, be it DTF, be it a heat transfer, whatever it is, right? You should be able to feel it, and you know whether that is embedded in the shirt, that you have really pressed that down into the shirt. Y'all, I have started using pieces of canvas like this, the piece of canvas. I've started using this when I'm pressing my DTF prints. Hey, good morning, Jesse. So we start using this. We press the DTF prints, and then we come back and we press it again with the canvas, and it gives a really nice soft feel, and it pushes that print on further in to the shirt if you're not using a professional press. If you're using like a professional press, like a Stahl's Hydronics, if you're using a Geo Night press, any of the Geo Night line, it's gonna hit, right? And that's a lot of the problems that a lot of people are having with their DTF prints. That's a big problem that a lot of people are having with not applying the correct pressure. It's not always that the print came from the company and that the print isn't right. Sometimes it can be the pressure that you are applying to the print, right? And so it could be the pressure. It could also be the timing. Yesterday, for the first time, I told my son, we were printing a job, and I said, let me see what the company says that you're supposed to press and heat these prints at, and da-da-da-da, right? Because we would press them, and then we let them cool, and then we would peel them. So yesterday, I said, let me go see. So I went and I looked. I printed out the instructions for the company that we're getting transfers from, put it up on the wall. Each company that I get transfers from, I will put just thumbtack it up on the wall so that I know what their temp, pressure, and all of that is, right? The exact instructions. And these instructions said something like 280, 9 to 13 seconds, and then it had the pressure on it. So I adjusted the pressure, did it, and it said wait 10 seconds, then peel. And that's what we did. With DTF transfers, you don't want to just, some of them you have to peel cold. Some of them you have, when they say hot, let's say if you got your heat press at 350 and you're supposed to be at 280, right? And then you peel that transfer as soon as it comes off at 350 and the transfer is coming up. It's because the temperature is too high and you peeled it too fast. So if the temperature is way too high, so it's super hot, so it's still it it needs to cool to adhere. So just those types of tips, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I gotta finish cleaning up. I am driving myself crazy because, tell y'all this last thing, driving myself crazy this morning because what we did is a we did a job yesterday, and how I ordered a 2X and not a small, I don't know. For the first time, I did not have a extra print. Normally I always have a couple of extra prints because I know that I can't just go and just order again like that real quick, right? So that's what happens. And so I'm going to today, I'm going to take it back old school because I told the guy, I said, hey, I can do it for you. It's going to be another process. This will get them to the event to wear the shirts, and then by the time they get back, if they need a replacement shirt, I can do a replacement shirt. But I'm just going to use an old school transfer, dark transfer on it. Y'all know I use the 3G opaques when I do stuff like that, and it will look the exact same as the DTF print. It's going to look exactly the same and all of that. Sometimes you have to do things like that. So it was my mistake. It's just going to cost me a shirt, right? And so, but I do want this lady to have her shirt because everybody else is going to have their shirts. So, okay. Baby Giant said, another company near me printed 150 transfers and the entire design fell off. The people came to me last minute and I couldn't help them because the event was the next day. They did not have enough pressure on them. There we go. And that's the problem. That's the problem that a lot of people have. I can tell you guys, y'all know I tell y'all I have that HTV runt press. I sent one to Houston with my brother, and I still have one here. We have started successfully printing our DTF transfers. I still only use that when I'm doing mobile events, but I prefer, and there's a big difference, a huge difference. People will say, oh, a heat press is a heat press. It's not a heat press, okay? A heat press is not a heat press. Some heat presses, you can adjust the pressure. Those are the ones that you want. If you got to get a cheap heat press, get something that you can adjust the pressure, and you're going to have to use those muscles in your arms. You're going to have to put the work in, right? As you build up, get a higher grade press, because the heating elements in those are different. You want something that's going to heat to temperature, and it's not going to have any type of cold spots in it. So if the elements are like this, right, sometimes you'll have a place where you'll have a cold spot, and that won't get heated up to temp. So all of y'all should have temp guns. All of y'all should have temp guns. If you don't have temp guns, they have temperature strips that you can order off of Amazon that you can put under your press. I prefer to have a temp gun because the temp gun, you can shoot it at different places under the press, and then you can see, oh, that says 300, that says 310, that says this. But your temperature should not be off any more than 3 or 4 degrees from what it's reading on the top of the press, right? And if you find that you have different places that are not temping right, then you have to figure out how to do adjustments to get that to where it needs to be. The HTV runt press, I've told y'all, and people say you can put a pad on it and it's going to give it more pressure. It just doesn't, because on the HTV runt press, y'all, around the edges of it, it has a seal. If you have the press, check it out today. When you press something, it goes, and then it waits a second, and then it goes up, and that's the pressure. The first one is just to close it. The second one is the pressure. When you put a pad on that, then it goes up, and then it tries to go up, but it's already got that pad there, and so around the edges can't hit that seal. And so it doesn't really work. Like the press isn't good to do with a with the pressing pillow. It's not good for any of that. Great press for if you're doing a sublimation print, if you're doing regular vinyl, and that's what they tell you the press is made for, right? It's not made to do screen print transfers or DTF transfers. However, Ken and I have found that if you hit if you hit it right and you drop it down, boom, right? You hit it, and then you if you raise up your temperature, so let's say if the print cures at like 280, right? Let's say you raise that temp up about 20 degrees, and then you hit it, and then you let it cool, and then you go back and hit it. Ken just hits his and then brings it up and hits it again, right? That'll push it down. Even if you take once you take the PET film off and then you press it down again, that will also, and you press it down with the what do you call it, with the canvas sheet, that will also help seal that print. It also helps if you pre-press when you're doing those types of prints, because then at least that heat will get it, and that's just on a cheap press. Now when I'm on the Geo Night, I'm popping that thing on there, boom, and going with it, and we done. If you're on the Styles, you're popping that thing on there, boom, and you're done. So you can just do that one press, but that's the difference, y'all, in having that. Jesse, we done talked about it. We done talk. Y'all know, and sometimes people say, "Oh, you're hating on the press." Well, why do you have two of them? I had bought that press because it was lightweight and because it was automatic, and I could do stuff at events, right? And once I got the presses and I did all the stuff, y'all know I be going through, and it's like, but then you got the presses, right? So then you have to figure out like how to maneuver and how to make things work. But when I'm dealing with my customers here, y'all might see me hit something on the HTV run, but trust me, when I'm getting off, I go and I press it on my Geo Night. And I tell y'all that all the time because I don't want you to see something sitting in my background like that cap press and say, "Oh, she got that press, so I'm going to go buy that press because if she got it, then it must be good." That cap press right there is good for $129. I should have put up my link because this should be a promotion right here. This Del Cleansing has two different cap attachments on it, one for unstructured and one for structured caps for the 6-pound caps. I love it. No, it does not heat from the bottom. For $129, it ain't gonna heat from the bottom. Okay, you go get your $1,500 Styles press if you want to do that. However, if you hit that cap, once it gets hot, it's hot at that bottom too, because like once you start pressing, so you really don't need that bottom heat, right? But it's a really, really good, that one is really good. This right here thing right here, I haven't got a chance to do the video on the new tumbler press that I got, but I can tell you guys this. I took it out the box the other day. The reason I haven't done the video, I've had it for like 3 days. I think I got it I got it like Saturday of last week. It stinks like hell. And so you know how like you get something new and you turn it on and you kind of like, ooh, I'm talking about baby. So I had to get out the room. And that's why I have this candle here. Literally, it stinks. So I had to put a candle and run the candle and let it burn. Y'all know that I'm very, very sensitive to smell. And yesterday it ran for a while, so I'm trying to see if the smell dissipates, because if that is the machine and that odor does not dissipate, I'm in a room that's about a 10 by 10. I can't do it, right? So it will have to go back. But hopefully I'll get a chance today I don't have a lot of stuff that I have to do today, so hopefully today we get to do the video on that, and then I'm going to show you guys how I made this. Um, this is a Instagram tumbler to promote my Instagram, and I'm gonna do a little video on these tumblers and tell you guys what I think. Now this right here tumbler, I did this tumbler in my I did this tumbler in my mug press. And where is my mug press, honey? Oh, it's over there behind me. So I did this tumbler in my mug press because y'all know I don't do tumblers much, right? This is a Instagram tumbler that I created, and you guys see I do have that line. When I created the file, I didn't pull that over enough, so I'll do that. But I want to see, when I do this in my mug press, I have to do 4 turns. I have to literally like put it there, let it sit, turn it, let it sit, flip it, let it sit, turn it, flip it, let it sit. So of course it's going to affect the color some. So I decided to do this because a lot of times I'm out and about, right? And if I'm out, I'm promoting me. Okay, so that was the whole concept behind this type of press, and to push these to my corporate clients to promote their social media. So it's something else that you can do, and I've got like another design that I'm gonna do also, and I'll probably give y'all this file if y'all want it. I don't know, you know, but it's something different. I hadn't seen anyone do anything like that, and I want to come up with different things, you know, be fucking different sometimes. But all right, y'all, those are my tips for today. Stop researching, do your little research, and then go with it. If I had researched and researched and researched when I first got into the print business, my son literally brought me a magazine one day. I looked in it, I read t-shirts are going to be the new hottest thing. I thought about my history of costume class. I thought about the t-shirt. I thought about fashion. I thought about, this is a product that does not change. The t-shirt in over 100 years has not changed. Have you gotten different versions of t-shirts, as far as the fabric content, the feel, and all of that? Yes. Are people still wearing t-shirts? Yes. T-shirts are still doing, well, not what it was originally made to do, because originally it was made for the military to just wear it as an undergarment, right? But once around the 60s, a little education moment, around the 60s, when companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, they started, and it was pretty much Coca-Cola, companies started putting their logos on t-shirts, and it became a billboard for expression, right? So my motto has always been that we believe that your t-shirt should be a walking billboard for you, your brand, your design, whatever it is that you have, if it's your company that you're promoting, if it's an event that you're promoting, for all of that. And I just knew that was my canvas, y'all. I just knew it. And so I went in and started doing it. Now, a lot of times the people that I train, the problem is a lot of times I had already had a degree in apparel, okay? I come from a retail background. I went to school in the world's largest trade center, okay, in Apparel Mart. But a lot of people don't have that, right? And so a lot of people don't know. I knew that I've never looked at selling t-shirts as a craft, right? That's why I always tell y'all I'm not crafty. I've never looked at it as a craft. I've always looked at it as the advertising and marketing industry makes billions of dollars a year. And I've always looked at it as a billboard, as a way that companies could express themselves. So when I look at t-shirts, I look at it as a promotional product. That's what actually made me go into corporate printing, into selling to companies, because of the way that I looked at it. And if you look at it that way, your thoughts and your horizons will broaden, and you start thinking about all the companies. When you're out and you're walking and you're looking at stuff, you think about all the things that you could print on. Like, anytime I see something, it's like, ooh, I could do that. Boom, boom, boom. You know, I got a little goodie bag over there. I was going to show it to y'all, but I've been on here 40 minutes. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. I hope that this video helps you. Hey, again, if you're thinking about getting into t-shirts, if you started, I talked to so many people within the last week since I announced Bosscation, and I talk about making an official announcement on Bosscation, y'all. But if you're serious about growing your business, Bosscation is a retreat, a 3-day business retreat where you are able to boss up in your business. And it does not just help people in screen print, it helps people in all facets of their business. And at this Bosscation, I'm going to teach y'all how to make money without ever printing anything, right? Of course, we're going to have screen printing. We're going to have our marketing classes. That's what it's about, screen printing, getting customers, right? So this year, I'm going to do things a little bit different. We got our VIP spots that are for people who are going to be in the house, right? And then we also will have individual packages where people can come to Bosscation over the days of the event. But if you don't know what the right process is for you, and you're out here, I talked to a lady the other day. She said, I'm spinning my wheels trying to figure out what I need to do. And she said, I want to do rhinestones like you. And I said, well, honey, I don't make money off of rhinestones. I don't make money off of selling rhinestones, y'all. I do and this is why I tell y'all, be careful of what you see on YouTube and you decide that this is what I'm going to go do. Because, oh, I seen Miss Latona do a rhinestone shirt, and baby, she killing, she making money on rhinestones. That's for YouTube. That's for promotional purposes. Maybe I'm promoting someone's rhinestones. Maybe I'm just showing you guys these are things that you could do. Now, did I make money off of rhinestones back in the day? I did. Nothing compared to the money that I make now, right? Rhinestones, you can make money, but it's time consuming. So when you look at people and you go to people's channels and you look at them, watch more than one video and find out who they are, what they do, what they're about, right? A lot of times people watch my videos and they don't even know who I am. They don't even know my accomplishments, right? Because I'm just all black girl, just hood from the hood, that I get on here and I shoot the shit and talk with y'all and play and everything. But best believe, I have longevity. I've been published in tons of magazines. I'm a pre-COVID chick, okay? I'm not one of these chicks who's come out here during COVID and blew up on YouTube. YouTube is not my thing, right? I'm proven. Not to say that there's nothing wrong with that, because a lot of people are killing it and have left their jobs since that. But what I'm saying is research people and find out what it is that they do. And I told this particular lady, I said, hey, if you into rhinestones like that, then you need to go over and watch Craftable Things. And that needs to be the person who's mentors you, right? Because if you only want to do rhinestones, there's no need of coming to Bosscation. At Bosscation, we about changing lives. I'm watching my girl Keisha out here killing it, okay? When you take a class or you do something and you look at, you did this and a year later and it ain't even been a year. Where are you at? What are you doing? We got CTR. She's no longer on YouTube, but she's getting ready to teach at the library, teaching screen printing classes. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of Keisha. We got Mel, who has got all of her stuff, is out doing live events. My girls are killing it. We got Becca. Becca is doing corporate printing. She's printing for, not corporate printing, for sports organizations and things like that. So we have people who have, people that I've trained that have elevated and that are going different places. Sometimes you come out the gate slow, right? But when you get with the right trainer and you figure out what it is that you want to do and you figure out the tactics to make money, like me, I can take everything that I know about screen printing and everything that I know about business and marketing, and I can apply that shit to anything. I took everything I learned in design school, from apparel design to my interior design, my business marketing classes, my history of costume classes, my textile classes. I took all of that stuff because I didn't go to school to print t-shirts, right? I took all of that stuff, everything that I learned in school, and I took it and I shifted it and I use it in my business today. And then I elevate with it. And every time I take a class or I learn something, if you learn something, you do something, right? And you make an investment, sometimes you make an investment in yourself. I see a lot of y'all buying the wrong equipment because you're sitting at home and you're like, oh, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to do that. And then you get stuck in this cycle of, now I have this equipment, I don't know what the hell to do with it. It can't even print dark black shirts. You know what I'm saying? I brought an embroidery machine because I want to do caps. I still can't do the caps. You buy equipment and then maybe you are lucky enough and you learn how to use the equipment, but you don't have any customers. You don't know where to begin to get customers. You're told that you have to have a website to get customers. And I do believe you need a website. You're told that you have to do it this way, and if you don't have that, and you're looking at the Joneses and you're thinking, oh, I gotta have the perfect website before I start making money, you're procrastinating. You're procrastinating. People are out here making money and winning, right? And people are never going to their website. I can't tell y'all how many people call me and they talk to me and I tell them, well, you can go and find that over on the website. Oh, you have a website? They don't even know I have a website. You have to learn how to market your business, how to sell. You have to learn. I know that I get on here, I talk shit with y'all, and I play games with y'all and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, right? If you can, what was it? In 2000, maybe around 2015 or 16, I was doing contract printing. Contract printing is when you print for other businesses. So like I'm a retail printer now. What you call kind of retail slash wholesale, right? I print pretty much to the end consumer. I do have some people that resell, but I'm pretty much an end printer. Contract printing is when you're printing for other businesses, like how when I'm outsourcing stuff, people are printing for me. And with contract printing, you're not making as much money. So at this time, I was doing contract printing, and there were people doing like 40 cents print for contract printing. Now we're talking about automatic print, right? You're not going to contract print without no automatic, without a way to make a whole lot of something real fast. And so I saw another colleague that was contract printing, and he had like 8 people working for him, and he had like 4 or 5 machines, and he was doing prints for 40 cents a print, right? In this huge building, and had all of this overhead and all of these employees. And he said to me, I have to clear $8,000 a day before I make a dime. That's some hell of an overhead. It got me to thinking, because we were contract printing and we were retail printing. And I'm looking at the numbers. And yeah, when we talk about printing 1,000,000 shirts, this is what we're talking about, right? Well, dang, they done put me in this magazine. She done printed over 1,000,000 shirts. I said, let that shit sink in. It's an accomplishment. But what if instead of those 1,000,000 shirts, that price per print was $3 a print, or at that time about $2 per print versus 40 cents a print? Something clicked in my head. Y'all, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Let that shit sit in. All right. Love y'all. See y'all later. Bye-bye.